Okay. Apologies for the disruption in our normal programming. Eva will not be doing any cooking today because we have a really big piece of news to share. The biggest news that either of us have ever had to share with anyone in our lives. Normally, we probably wouldn't take a whole video to do this, but it happens to coincide with a bunch of other kind of pieces of news and updates and things going on with us and with the channel. And so we thought, hopefully not at the expense of your patience, that we would come on and talk a little bit about what's going on.
Because we have a lot of things to talk about.
There are a lot of things to talk about, yeah. We're gonna save the big one for now.
The big bomb.
The big bomb for now. And we'll cover some of the other exciting things going on in our life right now. The first one is an update on a project that we've talked a lot about in the past and that many of you guys have asked us about because it's been a while since we've talked about it at all.
It's more or less a year, now maybe less.
That project is the mill here in Dasa. For those of you who aren't familiar, we've talked about it in a few videos on the channel before, but here in our hometown of Dasa, Calabria, there is a very, very old flour mill. So old that no one in fact knows how old it is.
It's old.
It's very old. Do you remember the first time that you took me to see the mill?
Yes, we were with Johnny.
Yeah. Eva came to me one day, we were here in the winter, and she said, oh, I want to take you to go see the old mill here in Dasa. And I have to be honest, I don't think I've ever even told you this, that at that time when you told me that, I sort of inwardly was like, oh, come on. It sounded really boring. I just thought all right, I'll go see this old mill with you. And the funny thing is that we went in there and it was with our friend Johnny, who is one of the greatest characters in town.
Cosa bevevano I nostri nonni? Vino, vino, vino! Lavando l'alcolizzati.
And he's not just one of the greatest characters in town, but he's also the last miller who worked there. So he's the last person who knows how this mill works.
Yeah, when he was 8 years old, he and his brother, who was only 2 years older than him, just these two kids worked this flour mill for the town completely by themselves. It's a crazy story. And so Eva took me to the mill and we met Johnny and he gave me the whole tour and told me the whole story of the mill and how it worked and everything. And I went in just an hour from being like, oh, come on, I don't want to go see this old mill, to that day, I decided, I was like, I don't know how, I don't know when, but somehow I need to get this mill working again. Part of that is because I learned the astonishing fact that the mill was operational until the 1980s.
Yes, maybe until 1985, 1986.
Something like that, yeah. So it wasn't even that long ago that this was the working mill for the town, and now it's just in disrepair, unfortunately. But it wasn't that long ago, so I thought, you could probably get this thing up and running again. And so ever since, it's been kind of an obsession. It's a piece of the history of the town. It's a piece of the traditional culture. And we just think that it's a shame to lose those things. And so it's always been there, in the back, we need to get this mill working.
In the back of our mind,
yeah.
We need.
By the way, if you want to actually come and visit the mill and get the same tour from Johnny and hear all of his crazy stories about working the mill as a child, you can, because there are spots available on the Taste of Calabria tour. That's the tour that we put together to feature some of the highlights, some of our favorite places and meals in Calabria from the longer Pastagrammer tour, but in a shorter and more affordable package. And of course, you come to Dasa.
There is one whole day dedicated to visit here Dasa, where you can not just meet Johnny and have the tour of this wonderful meal, but you can meet also the Spice Girls, which are the nonnas that help us to cook. You can come and meet Mama Rosa and try her magical, wonderful, the best in the world meatballs. You can come and have a taste of what the life in Dasa is. So
I will put a link down in the video description if you're interested. There are also, I don't think we've talked about this on the channel before, but there are also other cool things about the property the mill is on, because right next to the flour mill is an old olive mill. sadly, there is nothing left inside. It's just a big empty building. There's no more tools or stones or anything inside. But it's this big, cool space. And one thing that we've always wanted to do is turn that into a space that can be used for some of the big community events here that we do at the town, because every year more people from the town get involved with the things we do here.
So the space is not enough.
Yeah, and we always do things here in the Locanda.
But it's not big enough.
It's just not enough space. So it would be nice to have a bigger space for bigger community events and gatherings. And also there's all this like beautiful land that goes down to the river in town.
And our idea about that land was always to create a sort of community garden where people can go there, plant their own vegetable, their own, fruit, wherever they want. So it's a very beautiful property and very beautiful space for us.
The problem was that we didn't own this property. It was owned by someone in town whose family has owned the mill for who knows how many generations. I think even when we were researching, like, we don't even know how far back it goes. It's just always been in their family. But it was just being unused. Now, what happened was, a couple years ago,
2023.
We met a very amazing couple who came and visited us here in Dasa, Jerry and Zoe. And when they learned about the mill project, they wanted to help out. And turns out that there was a way for them to help out. At that time, there were concerns about the mill that potentially, I'm not gonna name any names or anything, but that someone from outside of town
could come,
was maybe prepared to come in and purchase the property. And the concern with that was that we didn't know what their intentions were. Let's just say our intentions didn't align. They had other things that they wanted to do with the property, which did not involve restoring the old medieval flour mill. And it was pretty scary because we had this dream for this. We really wanted to do this, but we could not afford to buy the property. Jerry and Zoe stepped in, and Jerry specifically spent a lot of time with us here and very generously offered to buy the mill immediately, like, for us, so that we could at least keep it out of outside hands.
It was there for us when we could afford it.
Yeah. And we agreed to that, but it was very important to us that we wanted to not just let it sit in his hands, partly because we couldn't really do any work on it and stuff until we actually owned it, and also because he was extremely generous to do this, and we didn't want to, like, just leave him with this abandoned mill. So we promised him when he stepped in to do that by this year, we would buy the mill back from him.
But at that moment, we didn't have any plan on how to do that. We just said, don't worry, Jerry, we're going to buy it from you, but how? We don't know.
We just kind of took a leap of faith and went, well, we don't really know how, but we'll find a way. And long story short, we did. We basically just scrimped and saved and put everything that we had into being able to cover the cost of the mill. And so, as of like a week or two ago,
a couple of weeks.
We finally bought the mill.
So now we are ready to be two miller.
It's so weird. And every time I like walk past it, it's so bizarre when you're like, I own this medieval mill?
Don't tell me, because while for you was a very recent discovered mill, I spent there a lot of time.
Oh yeah, growing up here.
I knew that there was the mill.
Did you ever imagine that someday you would own it?
Absolutely not. It wasn't in my project of life to own that mill. Do you know how many times when the olive mill was actually working, I went there as a child with a small piece of bread to collect the first olive oil.
Really?
And how many times I went there because they had the chicken, they had the rabbit to feed the chicken, to feed the rabbit. So now that I own that mill, it's like, wow.
It is scary, though. It was a scary step to take. Because one thing is buying the property, Another thing is putting all of the work and resources into it that it needs in order to make all of this project happen.
Okay, we took the first step.
Not sure how we're gonna do the next part, but at least the first step is done. We own this thing.
We have the mail.
We're basically, we're in the fundraising process, and luckily there's a lot of like grant money and stuff available in Italy for projects like this, and so we're exploring those options. The problem with that is that it's a very slow process, and of course there's no guarantee that we will get anything or be able to raise any money that way.
But we have faith.
We have faith. We do
We
have
have
faith.
faith.
But if it's a while before there are any like solid updates, that's why. It's just because it's a long, very boring process of paperwork and grant applications.
And waiting.
This brings us to the next sort of announcement we have, because when we started talking about the mill project and restoring the mill, a lot of you guys wrote to us and said, why don't you do a crowdfunding campaign, like a Kickstarter or something? The reason that we have never done that is because, frankly, we just don't feel like just asking for money. I don't know. It's not that we have anything against crowdfunding or anything, but like you guys have supported us so much already. I mean, just by watching the videos, but let alone by many of you support our sponsors, or you come on our tours, you buy our cookbook. Like you guys already give us so much. We just don't feel right about being like, please give us money for this project that we want to do. So we never wanted to do that because we didn't want to do anything where we weren't giving you something back in return. Well, when we gave that answer to many of you, a lot of people said, well, why don't you do a Patreon? For those who aren't familiar, Patreon is a platform where you can support creators whose content you enjoy, content you watch, and you can subscribe for a small monthly fee to a membership. It seemed like a pretty good idea to us because it's a way where if you do want to support us and what we're doing, you can, but it gives us the opportunity to give you something back in return. There will be a link down below, but if you join our Patreon community, you will get things like discounts on our store, on our website. You'll get early access every time that we announce new dates for tours. You'll get our weekly videos, but without all the like YouTube ads and without sponsors and stuff. You'll also get a monthly bonus recipe because Eva does a lot of cooking, not just once a week. She's doing cooking all the time.
I do cooking every day.
That is true. And how many times is there like a recipe where it's like,
I want to share this, but I can't. And now I have the chance.
Yeah, there are many times where there's some really cool recipe or something that we're eating, but we just don't find time or a way to fit it into a video. And perhaps most importantly, at least to us, you become part of the community there. So we hope that people will come on and actually engage. You can talk to us, ask us questions, but also talk to other people who are interested in Italian food, cooking. You can share what you're cooking. Give us ideas if you have suggestions or recipe requests. So hopefully some of you guys are interested and that might be fun. If it is, check out the link down below. We would love to see you in the community there.
So we can move forward to the next news that we should share with all of you, which is our new website.
Normally this wouldn't really be like a piece of news because it's still the same, hopefully great recipes that we always share. The biggest reason why I wanted to like actually come on and share the news about the website is because of one really specific feature that my brother built for us, and I think is a great idea. And I love it. I hope that you guys find it useful and fun, but I love it.
So one of our goals with this channel is to show, I don't want to say to the world, but to as many people as possible, how regional and diversified is Italian food. So it's not just the, I don't want to say the boring pasta and pizza that everyone thinks. So his brother had this wonderful idea to build into our website a map of Italy where you can find all the 20 regions. And if you click on each region, you are linked to a page where you can find all the recipes that we cooked on Pasta Grammar that belongs to that region.
Yeah, it's like this interactive map and you can explore the different regions, different recipes recipes from there. And I think it's cool because often people will write to us who maybe they have ancestors from a particular region and they want to know more about the food of that and stuff.
You
and
can
so
just go,
you can be like,
click,
oh,
and you find all the list of what we cooked in other region.
It also exposed some weak points we have where we really need to, we have our work cut out for us. Like I clicked on Molise and I was like, oh.
But that's not a problem because, by the way, everyone knows that Molise doesn't exist.
Yeah, Italians like to joke that Molise doesn't exist. And sure enough, on our website, it barely exists. We're gonna have to fix that. Anyway, I hope you guys find that fun. I think it's a cool feature. Also, speaking about the website, and this is another thing a lot of people asked us about since, I don't remember exactly when, but relatively early last year.
I think since when we moved here.
Around the time when we moved here, our merch store where we had like t-shirts and stuff like that has been down. We have been working on making a totally new merch store on our own website. And so now finally it's back up. So for all of you who have been asking, I see this shirt that you mentioned in a video or something and now I can't find it. Now it's all back up and we have cool new stuff like our I Heart Dasa design here.
See, which is a special I Heart Dasa because...
Do you want to explain it?
Because this is the amazing, unique, wonderful, magnificent curricchia from Dasa that Harper played a little bit around with and he made in the shape of an heart. It is the symbol of Dasa.
Yeah, kuriki are these fried savory potato donuts. We made a whole video about it. Put a link up there. They are the food of the town. Like if you ask just anyone in Dasa, like what is the food from Dasa?
The answer is
it's kuriki, so it made sense. We had shirts for a while just for our own events and stuff here that said I Heart Dasa. I can't take credit for the idea. It was actually Michele who came up with the idea. Michele is a very special young man here in Dasa who perhaps probably more than anyone else just like loves what is happening in Dasa now. And you know, we have just this growing group of people in town who all come together and do events and just get together and work on preserving the traditions and everything. And Michele is so adorable. He calls it the family. There's our big family.
Yeah. Family.
And so he came to me. People were asking if they could buy the I Heart Dasa shirts that they saw in some of our videos. And I was like, oh yeah, I should put those on the website. And then Michele came to me and he said, Harper, it should be a kurika. And I was like, oh, you're right. So all credit to Michele. Very smart kid. Well, that pretty much sums up everything except for our big news.
Last news for the day.
Do you want to tell them? Or should I?
I don't know.
How do you want to do this? We didn't think this far ahead.
I don't know. You tell.
You want me to tell?
I don't know, Harper.
It was pregnant.
Maybe in a more delicate way.
It just came out.
So yes, if everything will be okay, we are going to have a baby.
So a while back, we did a video where we answered some of the questions that we get the most. We lied a little bit in that video because there's one question that actually is probably the most asked question we get, but we didn't address it because it was a little bit of a touchy subject, which is when are you two going to have a baby? Reason it's touchy is because, frankly, and just being honest with you guys, we've been trying for a really long time, unsuccessfully.
And it wasn't a very simple thing to share with people.
Yeah.
It was a little bit sad.
Yeah.
It was a little bit sad.
Yeah. We were pretty close to giving up hope, but then we had a miracle.
Actually, it was like a sort of Christmas miracle.
A Christmas miracle. It was the day after Christmas that we found out that Eva is pregnant.
And to be sincere, I think that a big role was played by the Thierry Panettone. Because in my opinion, it helped a lot. It's like, this is my own theory. This is my own theory. Tell me that is wrong. Having the best Panettone in the world during that period helped all the things come together in the perfect way. So for Christmas...
That should be the first Panettone we give to our baby when it's old enough to eat panettone.
Be sure.
How old does a baby have to be before they can eat panettone?
I don't know, in my opinion, I can blend it. Then I mix it with...
Like baby food.
I mix with some milk and I can give to him. To him or to her, we don't know.
We don't know. We haven't even decided if we're gonna wait to learn the gender or, yeah, I don't know. There's so much to do, so much to think about. But that's the really big news, and we could not be more happy, more excited. We've been dreaming about this for a very long time. Oh my gosh, we're gonna be parents.
Yes, I know.
We're gonna be parents. I'm gonna have a little child that I have to introduce to like Hot Pockets.
No, this is abusive. Just when you say this is abusive.
We should do a video where I try like some of
baby
the
food?
like baby early childhood foods that are common in Italy.
We are very, very happy. And we are not the only people who are happy, because my parents, also your parents, they are more than happy.
But especially
Mama Rosa, she's getting crazy.
she's a little out of control.
See, already she is out of control in a normal situation, but now she is completely out of control. It doesn't matter how many times I tell her, okay, Mom, we need to do this very, how do you say, with calm. We don't need a lot of things. But every day she comes to me with a new sweater for the baby, with a new
Blanket or something.
With a new this, with a new that. It's like, Mom, calm down a little bit. I don't have
She's very excited. This means that she's not going to be Mama Rosa anymore. She's going to be
she's
Nonna
not.
Rosa.
I cannot wait. She will be always Mama Rosa. I can't wait until the moment in which she starts to cook meatball for the kid.
She's probably already started. She's probably filling a freezer with meatballs right now.
We will have an invasion of meatball.
Obviously, this is just the biggest news for us. We are so grateful and overjoyed by this. However, being pregnant has not come without its challenges for Eva, which is partly why we are here not for cooking today.
Sometimes, as most women for sure know, sometimes being pregnant comes with a price to pay, which means that not always you agree with all the food that you have in your fridge, all around you. Maybe there are some days in which the food is not your, favorite thoughts. And for me, it's very strange because believe me, if there was always a thing that made me happy was food. But right now, this is a tricky moment.
Yeah, and it's funny because I don't think either of us quite expected this because, okay, obviously you hear about like morning sickness. That's very famous, the nausea that comes with being pregnant. So knew about that, expected that. Neither of us knew that 24/7 nausea was a possible thing. Poor Eva has been dealing with some really bad nausea and stuff. It's just temporary, it'll go away. The doctors have assured us like everything's fine, it's normal. But it's definitely not fun. But yeah, so Eva is dealing with some nausea and stuff that we hope go away soon, but it also means that like food isn't as appetizing, things that she normally loves, not great for her to eat right now.
If now I think that I should eat a gelato, it makes me feel sick.
That's crazy. It's crazy.
And gelato was the only thing in all my life that I always was ready to eat and enjoy, no matter where, no matter how, no matter where, I don't know, the time of the year.
Well, it's even crazier than that because just the other day, the only thing that she found appetizing in the morning to eat was a savory sandwich. Now, to many of you, that doesn't seem that crazy, but if you're Italian, that's like, okay, what's wrong with you? Are you okay? So all of that is to say, we don't have any plans to disrupt our normal videos, but given the fact that Eva is not exactly feeling herself, cooking is a little bit tricky, please forgive us if in the coming weeks we maybe miss a week here or there. Please.
We will try to not to.
Yeah, I don't think we will, but just if
Just
we
in
do,
case.
that's why. Everything's all
in
good.
case.
It's just maybe it didn't work out that week. So I'm gonna be a mama.
And by the way, you're going to be a dad.
I am gonna be a dad.
Because if I'm going to be a mama, you're going to be a dad.
Be a dad. All right, guys. Well, that's our big news. Thank you for bearing with us through this video, and also just thank you for all of your support over the years. Everyone who's
Yes.
tuned in, watched a video, or bought one of our shirts, or been on one of our tours or something, all of these projects we've talked to you about over the course of this video.
Were possible just because of you.
Yeah, and
So thank you so much for everything.
before we go, I thought it was fitting, given the new I Heart Dasa design, to give a shout out to Pasta Grammarian Ron, who made kuriyiki at home.
He did a great job, and I have also to tell that right now this is the one of the few things that is still makes me hungry, wants
Really?
to eat. Yes, so if it happens that someone wants to make a curricula for me and bring, thank you so much. Maybe I can't make it, but for sure I can eat it. Not a gelato, not a pizza, but yes, a curricula.
You can never say no.
No,
to
it's in my
kuriyika.
DNA.
Yeah.
It's in my DNA.
Thank you guys once again for watching.
We hope to see you next week.
We hope to see you next week. We'll see you very soon. Ciao.
Ciao.